Show me a man who gets rich by being a politician, and I'll show you a crook. Harry S. Truman. And truer words have never been spoken. Look, getting rich is a good thing, particularly if you do it, really only if you do it in the private sector. But if you get rich via the government, and essentially via the taxpayer, if you get famous, get a book or a Netflix deal like Obama, or you profit from insider dealing like Nancy Pelosi, she can trade on information that you and I are not legally allowed to trade on. She's gotten very, very rich. It's not just her, it's other members of Congress also, including many, many Republicans. Or if you make money going around touring to the big banks, giving 1-hour speeches for $500,000 like Hillary Clinton and her husband. That was what was going on before she lost to Trump, when everybody thought she was going to be coronated as the next president. I mean, that's not a bribe or anything. We're sure it's totally legit. $500,000 for an hour speech. Okay, totally cool. Anyway, that's pathetic. But what's even worse is folks that rail against real capitalists, okay? People who actually make the world a better place in the private sector. If you make your money in the public sector, you have no business criticizing people in the private sector, generally speaking. Now, the thing is, in Washington and in government, generally speaking, these folks, these government oligarchs, are surrounded by sycophants. These are people, folks that will, lavish them with praise and are very impressed by, everything that they do. So they start to believe over time that, what they have is on some level legitimate. But in many respects, it's absolutely not. Typically people who don't know the game will buy it. And then there are other people who want to play the game that you're playing. They want to play the government game where you can get rich in government. They think that it's legitimate, and they'll let you do your thing too. Meanwhile, the people who make things and do things hold, what are sometimes called political entrepreneurs in total contempt, and they're right to do so. Wealth in the private sector is legitimate. Wealth that is stolen from the taxpayer, grifted, plundered via crony capitalism, while operating in the public sector is not legitimate, okay? Like if you use the government, the power of the government to enrich yourself, that is not the same as somebody who goes out and invents something and makes a ton of money, okay? In fact, what's insane is that some of these people actually think that they're better than the people who actually do things. Because, they're working for a better world or whatever. And that's how they convince themselves. And that's how they deal with what should in many ways be a shameful way of life. So when Bernie Sanders climbs up into his private plane on his Oligarch tour, we wonder how much money, directly and indirectly he's gotten from Soros and Steyer and Gates over the years. Who knows? Okay. We know that he's definitely made his money through books and all sorts of stuff. Books, because anyway. When he climbs his way into that private plane and the engine's cut on, that he knows that he's a deep hypocrite and he's an old man. And that is not the way anybody, at least anybody with a conscience should want to end their life. It's pathetic.
How can I get by on one house? I need 5 houses.
I own 3 residences. Yeah, I do.
I need jet planes to take me all over the world.
Think I'm going to be sitting on a waiting line at United? That's the only way you can get around. No apologies for that.
Sorry, the American people. We've got the money. We've got the power.
Guess what? I'm a United States Senator.